when you really understand the source of language, you have to give up many deeply embedded notions about what words are. So that's a nice segue too, that the practice is really about giving up many of these deeply embedded notions that are basically false, don't serve us as human beings, individually or collectively. Hari. It's a little bit like what's happened to computer code in the last 25 years, where we've all been saved the tedium of learning machine language, Fortran and BASIC, by all of these abstracted layers that allow us to just, push buttons and get by. And the same thing is happening with the way we live. Most people are really eager for a push-button life. So doing the practice causes a shift in the locus of your focus. And that's what we need, a shift in the locus of our focus. We've all got our eyes on the wrong place. And as goes your body, so goes your mind. And so it's a great way to bring that wobbling top of your mind back to its fast spinning central groove. Everybody is, like this. How do you speak from a place of knowing who you are? How do you speak from a place of knowing where speech comes from? How do you speak from a place where you know the origin of the word that you are using to convey what you really feel? And being that we are fractal creatures, this thing I've just said about speech is true for everything we do. People who excel in the arts or in sports, all of them exemplify the highest achievement, not the highest, but very close to the highest achievable performance of a specific aspect of our massively multidimensional existence. The somebody sings well, somebody can swing a racket well. But at the core of all of those things that are expressions or our beingness that make us human is one central the I. And the role of the spiral path is to take you back and make you shake hands with that original I. And the unfoldment of what walking that path does to you specifically is completely dependent on who you are. It's an excellent place to be in life where things don't intimidate you anymore. People, situations, circumstances, they don't intimidate you anymore. And intimidation can only happen on off-center people. They have a leverage that can be pushed and wobbled. But with this practice, you get a handle on your adrenaline control valve. And you can make it give you that burst of energy or that calmness when you need it, if you know where it is and how to turn it on and off, or anything in between. And I have a strong feeling that as the right few people come together and we all do these practices in harmony and in general togetherness at least, because there is a very individual work aspect to the whole practice, that the learning will be really fast. And as the group evolves, the pace of learning evolves, the pace of insight evolves for each one. And I think there's need out there in the world for people like that. I think the armed forces is going to need officers that think like warriors, not soldiers. And that's what this training does, if you want another analogy. A soldier is reactive, a warrior is proactive. Even in complete stillness, he's being extremely proactive. So how do you learn to think and be like a warrior? And when you're ready, go out and share. A lot of reading. I think books in this age of rather egoistical and egotistical people, and no fault of anybody's or anything, it's just the way the system is. A book is a very neutral way of absorbing a message, because you don't have to hear this voice with its particular tonality and this conviction that's being sent that way, in that direction. So with some reading, writing, arithmetic, music, sports, solitary practices, silence, all in a very guided, broadly guided pace, and awesome series of spaces where each place has its own magic to discover. You need expanse on the outside to feel the expanse on the inside. And whatever skill you have gets sharpened. So being proactive in life as opposed to reactive in life, it gives you that extra time that the rest of the people don't have. So that's a bit more about the promise of Spiral. I suggest you really, look between the lines and hear between the phrases, and look beyond the obvious of whatever I've said, written, sung, played. And the choices that both you and I have to make will be really effortless. That's the bell.